Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I want to show you on how to create a simple login using Python. Let's get it started. Okay, so right now before I start the video, I just created a tutorial.py. This is the file where our code will be stored. Okay, so our goal today is to create a user name or a login form or login code that would validate the username and password. Okay. Okay. So first thing we want to do is of course declare a variable for our username and password. Username and password. So this is our variable. Now we would like to add a value for each variable. Now for username, I would like to assign admin as our username, and for password is password. So that's it. The value of our username is going to be admin, and the value of our password is going to be password. So any information or any value that are or that is enclosed inside the double quotation is what we call a string. So that means that even though I put, let's say for example, 9 in here, the value is still string. It's not an integer. So when we say string, you cannot use them for any mathematical operation inside your code. Okay, so let's put it back. My password would be admin123. Alright, so in order for us to create a login, we would like user to input or type in his username and password. Now, we just need to validate if his username and password is matching our database. So technically we don't have any database right now because we're just trying to use the value that is inside our code. So in order for us to do that, we need to create an input that would let the user input his username and password. So I would like to name my username input as username underscore input is equal to input and the strings, which is enter your username. So by writing this code, you're just letting the username type his username. So in this case, the username can type any information that he knows, or whatever username he might be using in here, because what we're going to do here is we're going to be validating if the username he provided or he typed in to our program is matched to our username and password in here. Okay, so and I would like, of course, to define a user password, or let's say for example user pass input is equal to input. Hey, I would like to enter your password. I need it. Your password and space. So you would know later why I put a space in here. I'll discuss that later on. Okay, so right now we have completed the username and password. So when we run this program, the username or the user will be asked for his username and password, which is our username input and username password. So let's try to check. Okay, the terminal asking me, hey, please enter your username. Okay, I want to enter my username. Let's say for example my username is going to be admin. Okay, he is asking another credential again. He's asking for my password. Okay, well, my password is 789 Gene. So for example, okay, nothing happens. Why? Because we don't have any condition inside of our code yet. We didn't say, or we didn't declare any functions that would be executed in running the program. So to do that, we're going to be using if statement. So if means conditional. So there's like, hey, if our username, or if the username of input, which this is what we're calling. So just let's say, for example, the username, or the user input admin, that's the value of our username input. Okay. So if username input is equal to our username, which is the value of admin username, and that means that it's 2. It is asking for 2 equivalent. We're not going to be saying or, because in validating information, when you use or operation or operator, it will validate either one of 2. So we would like the correct username and correct password in this case. So we use n. So user pass input is equal to password that we have, colon. So in this if statement, what I did is that I use double equal. Why is that? In this case, we use only one equal for input for declaring the value of our variables. But why we did use two equal sign in this operation? So by default, in declaring any variable or value is in Python, you're only gonna be able, or gonna be you're required only to use one equal sign. But in declaring functions, declarations, and conditions, you're gonna be required to declare two equal signs as equal. So this means that two equal sign is like, hey, if username input is equal to username. So that means that the word is like, the thought is like equal. So it's like, hey, this is equal. Double equal is just an equal. Okay? So let's move on. If username input is equal to username, and if username or user pass input is equal to password, so we're validating if, let's say for example, the user input a password of 12345, it's going to be validated in here. So hey, is the user input that the user has typed equal to our password in here? No. So let's see what happens. So in this case, if username input is equal to username, and if user pass input is equal to password, we would like to print successful, your login. Else, otherwise, in human language, if username input, or it's not really necessary to write that. Else, we would like to print, please try again. Let's say for example. Okay, so by this code, we could already validate if the user input will be equivalent to the value of the username that we have, which is admin, and password that we have, admin123. So let me just do a recap in here. If username input is equal to username, so that means that if a user input admin, is it equal to our username? If yes, proceed. And username password input is equal to our password. What is the value of our password? It's going to be admin123. So is it equivalent to the user input? So if no, it's going to be false in the else, because it's not equal. The condition here is that if both username and password is equal to what we have in here. Else, if it's not equal, if one of them is not equal, it's going to be releasing this value. Please try it. Let's run this program and try what we get. Okay, it asks for username. Now, I would like to, for the sake of this video, I would like to use an incorrect username first. So I would like to use John as my username. Okay, it's asking for password. I would like to use my password as password123. Okay, please try again because it's not correct. For the second time, I would like to ask I would like to put the correct username. Okay, but for the password is incorrect. Gene. we didn't get this message. It says, please try again. So that means that the value of our username that we put or we type is not the same as the value of username and password that we have in the code. So I would like to try it again for this time that has the correct credentials. Admin and admin123. So at this stage, we should receive successful you are logged in because our username input that we have typed, which is admin, is equal to username that we have in here, which is admin as well. And our user password input is going to be admin123. Is it equal to our password that we have? Yes, it is. So it's true, so we should receive this message. Let's try. There you go. We have successfully logged in. Thanks for watching, and you may have a very great rest of the day. See you in the next tutorial.